Some heroes and heroines, and some of the bodies that were never recovered. Because some policemen, as they were shooting, they were taking bodies, putting them in their police vans to go bury secretly all over the township in shallow graves. Then the stone that they used to build this wall, it's called the slate stone. So the slate stone was used as a form of a writing stone, symbolizing education, but also it's here stepped up together like this to symbolize the unity and the strength amongst the students. You've got the difference in height of the wall, which symbolizes the different age gaps. From the shortest wall symbolizing the youngest victim to die, which was an 8-year-old girl. Her name was Lilimiti. She was shot on the 17th of June in 1976, not even part of the confrontation or the shooting that happened on the 16th of June. And then the water fountain that you see here, it symbolizes the tears that were shed. Continuously closed because of the thousands of families who are still affected. And then it passes through the gaps here. When it reaches the other side, it's supposed to wash away the blood that was spilled in this area. Then inside the water, you see the stones that are there. So those stones, they're symbolizing the only weapon that the students use once the march became a violent protest. And then the young lady on the picture there, that is the sister of Hector Pieterson. Fortunately, she's still alive. She was 16 years of age when the picture was captured. She used to work at the museum. She retired as a curator in 2014. And then the boy who's been carried in the picture, that was Hector Pieterson. He was 12 years of age. He was going to turn 13 on August that year. And he was not supposed to be there because the march was for only secondary and high school students. And then if you can notice, the boy who's carrying Hector Pieterson in the picture is not wearing any school uniform. So he was not part of the protest. He was just passing by, coming to visit his family on the other side of the museum. But when he saw Hector Pieterson clearing right at the corner, he quickly picked his body up. He was running in this direction. There's a clinic about 500 meters away from here. He was just trying to save Hector Pieterson's life. But when the police saw the picture, they assumed that because he was older, maybe he was part of the organizers or the leadership. His life, he became one of the most wanted boys in Soweto. So fearing for his life, days after the uprising, he fled the country, went into exile to Botswana, and then he was given a scholarship to go study in Nigeria. And then 2 years later, in 1978, he wrote a letter informing his mother that he's studying and he's alive. But unfortunately, he was last seen or heard of in Nigeria in 1978. That's why we say his name is or was Mbuyisa Makubu. I want to show you a message that is there, if you don't mind. So this message was left by his mother, who was asked to comment in 2002 regarding the disappearance of a son. She said, Mbuyisa is or was my son, but he is not a hero. In my culture, picking up Hector is not an act of heroism. It was his job as a brother. If he left him on the ground and somebody saw him jumping over Hector, he would never be able to live here. That's Mama Kubu. And then I also want to show you this line of grass here on the ground. So this line, it goes directly to the entrance of the museum. Can you see it?
Yes.
But looking back across the road, it connects with that first tree there. Can you see it? Where the guy just passed. Up until the last tree that's planted at the corner of Vilagazi and Muyema Street. So that's the exact location where the confrontation and the shooting happened. So in the morning of June 16 in 1976, about 500 students started to march 7 kilometers away from the site. So the plan for the students was to go meet at Orlando Stadium. From the stadium, they would have a rally, draft a memorandum against Africans as a medium of instruction and against ban to education. But unfortunately, the students never got to reach their destination. So when they got to that corner, their number was at over 15,000 students. And then they were confronted by 200 policemen So one of those policemen drew a line on the street, telling the students that they are not allowed to pass over the line because they've got a license to shoot to kill. But they were still being told in Afrikaans, the same language that they were marching against. So then the students continued to picket and toy, holding out placards, some of them written, "To hell with Afrikaans." And then one of the songs that they were singing was Senzenina Isono Setu Uguba Abantu Abamnyama, which means what have we done? Our sin is to be black. Also they were singing a song called Nkosi Sigeleli Africa. So today we sing that song as part of our national anthem in South Africa, but during the apartheid era the song was illegal. It means God bless Africa. So I personally fail to understand how God bless Africa would be offensive in any way, because the police started to fire tear gas trying to disperse the crowd. But we were told it was a cold winter morning, so the wind was blowing against the policemen. So the gas affecting them more, they panicked. With the panic, they sent out their police dogs. And students were not carrying any weapons. Remember, it was a peaceful protest. So they picked up stones, they killed one of the dogs, threw the dead dog in front of the policeman. Then one of the police officers said, "Officer down," meaning that a life of a dog was much more valuable, because shortly after that, the first 5 shots that were shot directly at students, one of them they hit Hector Pieterson on the neck. He fell exactly at that corner, but he was not the first victim. He was the youngest to be shot on the day. The first boy to be shot, his name was Hastings Ndlovu. He was 16 years of age, shot by a police sniper at point blank range, because they said he was inciting violence by holding out the Amandla sign, coming to join the other students. You see these poles that are here? They are pointing directly down at the bridge where the young Hastings Ndlovu was shot, but there were no journalists there so that they can capture his image. There's also one last message that I want you to see here. It was left by his father, who was also asked to comment in 2002 regarding the death of his son. Then the stone that they used to build this wall, it's called the slate stone. So the slate stone was used as a form of a writing stone, symbolizes education, but also stacked up together as a symbol of unity and strength amongst the students. So this is the message from the father of Hastings Ndlovu. If I take out the branch of this tree and give it to you, I'm saying peace upon to us.
Okay.
So these trees are called